Hey everyone, it's Robert from On My Turntable. I hope you're having a great day today. It's Thursday. It's cold, but it is sunny. It's also one step closer to spring. I'm not a big winter fan, as you can tell, or as I've already mentioned in my previous videos. But we just have to deal with it and move on. Today I want to continue my series on albums you need to listen to, and I think I've chosen a pretty good one. It's ZZ Top's Deguello. Before I get into it, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. I want to continue to put great content out there and to be informative and to teach you guys some great stuff about the bands and artists that I have in my collection. I also have, and I'll get into these a little later down the road, I also have El Loco in vinyl. I have Eliminator in both vinyl and CD version. I have Tres Hombres, and I have Afterburner. All great ZZ Top albums. There's more that I want to get to complete my collection, but pretty good selection so far. This physical copy of this CD isn't anything to write home about. It's just a straightforward CD. It's not remastered or anything. Still sounds good, but just basic information in the liner notes, basically the song tracks, who's in the band, which is Billy Gibbons on guitar, Dusty Hill on bass, and Frank Beard on drums, making up a great power trio. And there's nothing really in the back. It's just, again, a straightforward version of the CD. If there's a remastered version out there, I'll probably pick it up because I love remastered CDs. I love discovering how an album would sound, even though in some cases the originals sound better than the remastered. But for the most part, I love remastered CDs. So this album, Deguello, is the sixth studio album by the band, released in 1979. The word Deguello means decapitation or no quarter, never surrender to be given, or a fight to the death in Spanish. It was their last studio album of the 70s, meaning the little band from Texas was moving into more of a MTV Much Music era with music videos, that type of thing, with albums such as Eliminator. So this one stayed close to the original 5 albums before it. More bluesy, rocky, chord-driven album. They started off with some synth sounds in this particular album, but not as much as later years, for sure. It went platinum with 2 great singles, I Thank You and Cheap Sunglasses, and of course huge hits by like I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, and Cheap Sunglasses became huge concert hits as well. It's a harder sound for the band. The grooves were harder and sleeker, and there was also starting to have some humor in their songs, such as Cheap Sunglasses and I'm a Fool for Your Stockings. Great album with great solos, great sounding too as well. The synthesizer added some great sounds to the album also. So unfortunately I can't play a lot of the tracks, or most of the tracks. I will play little snippets of it just to give you an idea of the sound of the album itself. So I'm just listening to some weird sounds outside, speaking of weird sounds. So the first, I'm just going to move this over a little bit. So the the first track off the album is I Thank You. It was written by Isaac Hayes and David Porter back in '68. Became a huge hit for them. It was more of a soulful song at the time, and ZZ Top put some Texas blues boogie into it with Gibbons' rough voice, making it a cool sound. Again, another staple from the band, classic rock radio hit as well. Next one is She Loves My Automobile, more of a bluesy song with added synthesizer horn arrangements by Dusty Hill. Great guitar solos by Gibbons, and again, a very bluesy song by the band. I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide is a more rockier than the earlier two songs. Great drum shuffle by Frank Beard. Overdub guitars by Gibbons as well. Again, another classic rock radio hit. The next song is where the humor starts to come in. I'm a Fool for Your Stockings. Kind of a ballad with a blues shuffle to it. Great drum shuffle as well by Frank Beard. It's different than anything else off the album, really, but one of my favorites off the album. The next song and the last track on side one is Manic Mechanic, kind of a Frank Zappa type of song with added spoken vocals over heavy rock and funky riffing as well from the band. But it does remind me a lot of Frank Zappa. I'm slowly getting into Zappa, so that's where it comes into sounding a lot like him. Side 2, track 1 starts off with Dust My Broom. It's a cover of Robert Johnson's original blues song from the 20s. The song was re-released by Elmore James back in the 50s, and then ZZ Top took it over and stuck pretty close to the original from Elmore James, and it's a pure blues track with great slide guitar by Gibbons. Next one is Low Down in the Streets. It's more of an edgier sound, and also the vocals complement the main riff. Very blues-driven album, this one for sure. Next one is Hi-Fi Mama. It's the only track featuring Dusty Hill on vocals, and he's kind of also like a Little Richard sound to him. Very high-pitched sound. He's got a good voice actually, but this is a little higher-pitched sound by him. It's also great riffs between Gibbons and Dusty Hill's synth horn arrangements as well. Next one is a huge hit for the band, Cheap Sunglasses. It's some say it kind of rips off Edgar Winter's Frankenstein, and also Blind Faith Had to Cry Today, or maybe even a bit of both. But it's got great riffs by Gibbons and great drumming by Frank Beard on it as well. Again, another huge classic rock radio staple. And the final track is Esther Be the One, more of a standard 70s song by the band. Great arrangements with great dual guitars and keyboards, and also a great bass groove to it as well. I wish I could play the whole album, as I said. They don't let you do that. But I will be putting a link to my Spotify on this to let you enjoy the album, and hopefully that you'll discover this and discover more tracks by ZZ Top. So again, Deguello by ZZ Top. It's a platinum selling album by ZZ, and it reached the top 40s and also reignited the band. They were going through a basic burnout. They had toured so much and recorded so much that they kind of all went their separate ways. They didn't break up, they just went their separate ways and kind of just had to rejuvenate. And so that they came together to make this great album after rest, after getting their heads straight again, and created this great album in Deguello. It also introduced the band to a new radio audience. and also gave the more band popularity moving into the 80s through albums like Eliminator and that type of thing, through MTV, through Much Music. It's definitely an album you need to listen to. It's ZZ Top Deguello. Have yourself a nice day. Again, I'll be putting a Spotify list down below of the album. Have yourself a wonderful day, as I said, and thank you. Take care. Bye-bye now.